In this video, I'm going to continue summarizing the quest lore for Borean Tundra. Now, this is part 4 of the series, so if you missed the last episode, then go ahead and click this link right over here. But if you're already caught up, then let's go ahead and jump in and find out what's going on in World of Warcraft. We left off seeking out Thessarian, and found him doing something with this undead thing here in this room, saying that he needs your help before his sister gets hurt. Basically, he took out the ziggurat, and since that part of his mission is done, he's now looking to siphon knowledge from the Lich here. But he can't do that because the soul of this Lich is hidden in a phylactery. So Thessarian wants you to return to camp. Get on his horse named Dusk, and she will lead you to that phylactery. Now you leave the ziggurat and return back to camp. Once you get there, you jump onto Dusk and ride out to the location of the phylactery. Once you get there, you jump into the water and gather the item, and are met by the phylactery guardian who says that this isn't yours to take. So you kill him and his minions, gather what you came here for, then head back to the ziggurat. When you hand the phylactery over to Thessarian, he says that there is no doubt that when he starts to extract the information from this Lich, all the Scourge in the area are going to know that something's up, and most likely they're going to attack the place and try to stop Thessarian. So he says that killing the Scourge might buy us some time, mentioning that the guy Asidaris here has been very cooperative and dishing out all the information that he knows. But he really needs more time with the Lich here named Tanathal. So now you head out and head over to the Nerubian city, kill the Scourge that need to die, and then you head back to the ziggurat to report. When you get there, you learn that Thessarian is getting all the information that he wants, learning that the High Priests of Ankilla hold the secret to get into Naxxanar. So basically, you need to go back to the city and enter the Spire of Blood, Pain, and Decay, killing the priests to get their scrolls. Once you've obtained them, return to Thessarian. So now you head out again and return to the city of Ankilla, which is the Nerubian city, killing the 3 priests and obtaining the scrolls. After that, you return to the ziggurat and speak with Thessarian. He says that he doesn't know how much longer he can keep this Lich restrained, but he figures out the way to get to the top of Naxxanar. So Thessarian wants you to head back into the city of Ankilla and look for the teleportation device that will lead you to the top. Once there, make your way to the very top of Naxxanar to meet up with Thessarian. So now you make your way back to the city for a 3rd time and teleport to Naxxanar, scaling level by level until you reach the top. Once you get there, Thessarian tells you that this is the place where all of the orders for the cultists are coming from, and that their leader is bound to show up really soon. So rather than explain what's happening here, I'll just play out the scene and how it's told.
My liege, the infiltration and control of the Alliance power structure by our cultists is well underway. The power you've bestowed upon me has granted me great mental influence over human minds. I bear these offerings as proof of my progress.
Larissa, what have you done to my sister? You motherless elf scum!
Now this is a surprise, Thessarian. I hadn't heard from Mograine or the other Death Knights for months. You've come to rejoin the Scourge, I take it.
I would sooner slit my own throat. You would pay for what you did to your own men, Arthas. For what you did to me! I swear it!
Allow me to take care of the intruders, Lord. I will feed their entrails to the maggots.
Do not fail me, Sanlane. Return to Icecrown with this fool's head, or do not bother to return.
Yes, my lord.
What happened to me?
Thessarian, you're alive!
My head won't stop spinning.
Larissa, you're all right.
I thought you were dead.
I cannot return home with you just yet, Larissa. I am not quite done with the Scourge.
Don't leave me again. You want to fight for your country, but they don't even want you. They sent you here to die.
You might be right, sister. My obligations to my land and king have been fulfilled. But there is something that I still owe to myself.
I know that look in your eye. I'm not going to be able to talk you out of this. If you die on me again...
Do not worry, Larissa. I will come back to you when I'm done. Nothing in the world will stop me from coming home to the only family that I have left.
If you didn't notice, apart from Thessarian's sister being mind-controlled, General Arlos from Valiant's Keep was also compromised. And his advisor, Counselor Talbot, was disguised as the elf prince guy. Now, usually you would turn in the quest here, but Thessarian despawned really quick. So for us, we're gonna head back to the ziggurat and turn it in over there. And he says that he hoped that his sister would kind of be left out of this whole thing, but now his obligations to his king and his army have been fulfilled, and that he will find his own way from here on, fighting his own wars. With that quest turned in, you complete the 8th chapter in the Borean Tundra storyline. But even though that's the last chapter in this zone, we still need to go back and do chapters 3, 4, and 6. It's just kind of weird how everything led us to the last chapter, but that's really okay. It doesn't really matter. Hey guys, this is Quaylen. Just want to remind you that if you're really enjoying this content, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you really want to get deeper into the community, I do stream here on YouTube my World of Warcraft content every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And if you're really big into working out and fitness and everything, I stream my workouts every day, Monday through Saturday in the morning. So go ahead and check that out sometime. And lastly, if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, go ahead and check out the membership link down below, and you can join the Order of Lore Masters. There's a lot of cool perks, and it really helps out the channel and the work that I do here. Okay, let's get back to the video. So let's go to the middle of Borean Tundra and take a look at chapter 3. When you arrive at the DEHTA encampment, you speak with Archdruid Lothorius, and he tells you, well, first off, he doesn't really even introduce himself. He goes right into something about a demon and how it represents death. But then he says it's now 50 years after everything began, and that this time he says that we've got him and that there's no escape for this guy named Nesingwary. So if you're confused just as much as I am, then that's okay, because that was really bad writing. Although we probably know the name Nesingwary, you know, the hunter guy, but anyways, let's continue on. Lothorius says that any supporters of Nesingwary are an enemy to the DEHTA. So he wants you to kill 15 of these guys and bring back their ears as proof of their death. And with that, he'll grant you the blessing of DEHTA, which will give you a little bit of a boost. Also, Lothorius talks about the mammoths in the northern area of the tundra, and how these so-called demons hunt them for sport and riches. Basically, it's killing Lothorius having to listen to the cries of the baby mammoths when they get in like their traps and stuff like that. So he wants you to smash a hammer against the traps themselves, which will free the baby mammoths. Now you run up to Hierophant Senius, and she says that the lake to the west, called Lake Kumuya, is the only freshwater giant clam habitat in the world. And of course, Nesingwary's guys are using it as a pearl farm. So Senius wants you to head out there and slaughter these guys. About 10 of them dead will do. Now you speak with Killinger, the Den Watcher, and he says that over by Lake Kumuya, on top of the high bluffs, is someone named Nadar, and he claims to be the Lord of Rhinos. He even raised his own rhino to become his bodyguard and his mount, and all that those two do is terrorize the place. So Killinger wants you to go and take both of them out. Lastly, you run up to Zaza. She also tells you that Nesingwary's men are hunting another animal, and these happen to be the caribou to the south. So what she wants you to do is take some fake furs and lay them over the hunter's traps. Then watch them as they come over and get caught in their own devices. From here you head south and lay the fur on the traps, tricking the hunters, which leads to their death. Then you kill the poachers in the area for their ears. After all that, you head north and free the baby mammoths from their own traps. Then you turn around and head south once again. From here, you head to the location of Nadar and fight and kill him along with his rhino mount named Lunchbox. Once that's all done, you head back to the DEHTA camp to report. Speaking with Zaza first, and regarding the trappers, she says not to revel in the victory for too long, because Zaza has found out the location of the poachers' leaders. To the south of here is Karen the CULLER, and she's been making a mockery out of the carcasses of the slain caribou, like drinking their blood and howling to the moon, you know, bunch of weird stuff like that. But also, she's been indulging in the riches that Nesingwary has given her. So best to just go and take her out. Now you speak with Archdruid Lothorius and turn in all of the ears that you collected. He says that he's gonna hang them around his neck so that the enemies can get the message. As for the baby mammoths, he sheds a tear and says that since they're orphaned now, they're probably not gonna last very long. Because a lot of these baby mammoths are gonna die, he wants you to speak with Kunok the Behemoth, which is an ancient mammoth located at the Scalding Pools to the north. And Lothorius wants you to take a calf to him, and he'll tell you what to do to help him out. Speaking with Senius, she's happy that you were able to take out the crazed divers that were over at the lake that were gathering the pearls. I don't think we talked about that, but you ended up doing that too. But now they've got word from someone named Leandra to the south that the mercenaries hired by Nesingwary are moving their products onto a ship to the south of here at the Abandoned Reach. So Senius wants you to meet up with Leandra and see what needs to be done. When you speak with Killinger about the rhinos and Nadar being killed, he says that at least for now, the rhinos will know some kind of peace. So now you head north with the baby mammoth to the Scalding Pools. And when you get there, you speak with Kunak. The cool thing is he speaks to you telepathically and says that you've done a great thing for his kin. But their torment can't end without some bloodshed and violence. And he mentions that someone named Ka really needs to go. Kunak says that with the mammoth's help, you'll be able to take out Ka. So he wants you to head north and mount a mammoth bull. Then head to Ka's roost and kill him and his army, taking his halberd back to Lothorius as proof of his death. So from here you make your way north, mount the mammoth bull, then head to Ka's location, killing him and looting him for his halberd. After that's done, you make your way south towards the Abandoned Reach, and meet up with Leandra. She says that Nesingwary is selling animal parts to the North Sea freebooters, and those things such as furs and whatnot are going to hand up into the hands of the rich of Azeroth. So she wants you to gather all the shipping crates and sacks that you can find and bring them back to her. From here you head out into the field, gather the animal parts in the crates and sacks, and then return back to Leandra, who says that she'll give these animals a proper burial, and also mentions that it's time to strike at the pirate leader. Leandra mentions that this leader calls himself the CLAM Master, as if he holds mastery over the creatures of the sea. Well, this really pisses her off, and she wants you to take him out. He was last located at the wreckage just off the coast of the Abandoned Reach. So now you make your way over there, dive down below, and kill the so-called CLAM Master. Once he's dead, you make your way to the location of Karen and take her out before you head back to the DEHTA encampment. Once you get there, you speak with Zaza and tell her about Karen's death. She says that with her dead, she hopes that that will serve as an example to others of why you shouldn't kill animals for sport and riches. When speaking with Lothorius, you turn in the halberd of Ka, and he's enthralled because that's another one of Nesingwary's lackeys that has been brought to justice. Lastly, you speak with Senius, and she says that we're closing in on Nesingwary with everything that you did at the beach. After turning in this quest, you run back over to Archdruid Lothorius, and he tells you that Harold Lane is the primary target responsible for the mass slaughters in Nigrand back in Outland. He's also known as the man in charge of Nesingwary's operations here in the Tundra. As far as his location, he's been currently spotted at Lake Kumuya. So Lothorius hands you an oak horn and says to go kill him, and if you need help, just, blow the horn. So you head out to the lake, find Harold and engage in combat, blowing the horn for some help. Once he's dead, you return to the encampment and speak with Lothorius. He says that Nesingwary is now gone, and perhaps he was never here to begin with, or pretty much his presence and his operations are now they're not here anymore. But Lothorius says that Nesingwary's days are numbered and that they'll find him, and when they do, you can be imaginative of what they're going to do to him. With this quest turned in, you complete the 3rd chapter in the Borean Tundra storyline. I think the main message here is, if you start killing animals, the tree huggers and the animal lovers are going to come and they're going to kill you. But it's good to go back and get these other chapters done, and the chapters that are coming up are going to be really, really long because we have a lot of quests that aren't directly related to the chapter completion, but they're still important enough that we want to cover them. So next week we'll get into the last 2 chapters of Borean Tundra. And before I go, I do want to give a big shout out to the Order of Lore Masters for supporting the channel. Your membership contributions help so much, and I know I say it every single week, but I can't begin to thank you so much. It really, really means a lot. If you'd like to help out the channel, then go ahead and check out the membership link down below. And with that, I will see you guys next week when we find out what's going on in the Tales of Azeroth.